Okay, what's up, y'all? It's Will here at Schedulefly, and got the pleasure of having Oscar Diaz on here again. He's been on the pod. He and I actually had an epic episode this summer. Several hours. We had to stop because we literally ran out of batteries. But we're not going to keep Oscar long, man. Like everybody, he's got a whole heck of a lot going on. But for this Onward series, we're really just trying to check in with people, Oscar, find out what's on your mind. I'm sure you don't have a lot of time to even think through stuff right now, but you got all this stuff from dealing with having to lay people off to try to figure out how to, sell takeout food, how to figure out a bunch of legislation that's going through. There's a lot on your plate, and you're concerned about your people, I know, and it's one of the things we love about folks like you is your first instinct for all this stuff is always to think about the people you care about, the people you work for, the people in your community, and so anyway, man, what's up, man? What's going on today?
Hey, what's up, Will, first of all, but yeah, man, we're just trying to not be, all the inclination right now is to be super reactive to everything that's happening and try to, like, just right away start learning how to navigate. But, now that we're, like, a week and a half, 2 weeks into this, we're just kind of, like, figuring out. We knew when it happened, before legislation took any, there was just a lot of confusion. No one knew what was going on. Like, should we close? Should we this? Should we take out? Obviously some of our, Cortez, for example, is not really known for takeout. So we had to make a quick adjustment there. And, we have all this seafood and, stuff's expensive. So we had to figure it out. But the one thing Charlie and I knew that we wanted to do was make sure that we keep, we like our family. These people have been there for us in thick and thin. So we felt we deserved to do the same for our employees, man. And, when it went down, we knew we didn't want to close. So we figured, hey, look, we'll open and we'll do whatever takeout we can do. Let's get as creative as we can, make sure that we're getting the largest margins that we can with the minimal business that's available. But it was really all just to be able to keep paying our employees. So, bring in people. And then finally the unemployment thing, came out or whatever. So some people were able to get unemployment. But really we wanted to just keep as many people as we could still paid realistically, just because, like I said, there's people have been with us up to like 9 years, and it's just kind of weird to be like, hey, sorry, see you later, when they depend on that. So it's just crazy, and then the other thing is that, the community had to kind of stand up. I'm not trying to get into politics or anything, but it just seemed like a long time. Like one day of not knowing what to do is a really fucking long time for people in the small business industry when really we depend on day-to-day businesses. And sometimes even with normal day-to-day businesses, it's very complicated for us to maintain our doors open. So, when this shit goes down and no one's really saying anything, and you have, like, seems like every part of the nation's doing something different, we just started thinking long-term. And, yeah, we were seeing what other places were doing. We started just right away, like, we knew we had to close the dining room. We don't want to get people sick. We don't want all that, but obviously we wanted to create revenue for our people. And, yeah, it's weird. I mean, I can't explain honestly where that all comes from, but I know that, like, this, I feel every morning when I wake up like I need to do something, and it's weird. It's not necessarily just cook, but, like, it's providing for our family, like that's our family, and then that family provides for the community. And just to see all the chefs and every business and everyone start doing things on their own before anything was done was kind of like a nice thing. So I just felt like we were all chipping in to do something better. And it was for our people, because, like, yeah, you could start a GoFundMe, but I just felt like that everyone's going through the same thing. I don't want to go out and, like, panhandle. I want to be able to do what I can do right now to try to help this.
Yeah.
Help lighten the load, man. And also, like, just, I mean, some of it's also kind of just, like, mental stability, like, just being able to go out and go into my place and, like, put food together for people, and, like, kind of, it feels like care packages, because, like, I don't know how everyone else is experiencing it, but I know from our end, there's just, like, this need to do something to help. And, whether it be via food, whether paying your staff. And now I'm working with some other people to see how we can create, some awareness as well, to create some funds. I mean, when I have more details, I'll definitely keep y'all posted through, like, social media and stuff. But, we're just, there's definitely a necessity, man. And I guess it makes sense, hospitality, when you're there to, like, always help. And I don't know, there's just something about it where you just feel like you need to do it. I don't know. I feel like everyone I spoke with right away wanted to see, getting together and brainstorming how to get something accomplished,
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I mean, it's, y'all have done so much individually, and you've done so much as a group, and everybody's collaborating and sharing ideas and trying to figure out how to. I mean, there's no roadmap for this. There's no way to plan for this. There's no template. There's no.
No, yeah.
I mean, so there's no right or wrong. We don't really know. We just, it's like you hear about, living day by day and all this kind of stuff. I mean, we literally have to right now, everybody. And y'all have just an amazing amount of stuff. I'm trying to, as I get things, I try to share it, with the ones of y'all I know well. I did just get a text from Sophia Wu today at Mofu Shop saying that she went through the SBA, loan process and the grant process, and it was like super, super, super easy, which was that was encouraging to hear.
We just found out. So that's the other thing. So like one of those things that I was saying is like where we were experiencing what almost felt like this new thing that there was no proven way of how to get past it or anything. There was nothing, no text that we can like go on and read like textbook and be like, okay, here's a proven path to success to get out of this or whatever. So you're like kind of navigating solo there for a while, but then the community starts coming and doing stuff. But then now we're starting to get some of this news saying that, like the SBA loans, they're going to be paid back, and they're kind of starting to give guidelines. So now that's starting to be like, it's starting to feel like there's going to be some relief. But in the meantime, when we didn't know this for a fact, you need to start fighting for your people immediately, you know what I mean? Because there wasn't a guarantee of anything. And like I said, small businesses, a lot of us are, I'm not saying day to day necessarily, but like you depend on your weekend at least, you know what I mean? Or you depend on certain things, and when you start not having that, we don't know what to do, so we just try to do the best. But the other thing is you start reading all this legislation, and it honestly comes in and it just looks like, lawyer jargon, and we don't even, you have so much on your mind. You're like still trying to do this. You're wearing so many hats at once that, you feel ridiculous because you look ridiculous because you're wearing a bunch of hats at once.
Well, and y'all, I mean, you say small business, and it's true. Restaurants in particular, because of all that's involved with, like, people's, you've got their health and their safety on the line, and you've got, it's just so much going on, and then you've got, you've got small margins already. You've got this time of year is right when you're about to kick off your really busy season. It's just like, holy cow, all this at once.
Yeah, it just, and everyone's going through it, This isn't like it's not meant to be any sort of sobs or anything. It's just, it was the uncertainty, the unknown that was the hardest part. And then aside from that, then there's, the fact that there is a virus going around, and you're like, oh shit, are we doing the right thing? So there, it's weird. It's it's one of the things I never, when I first started cooking and all that shit, and I'm like, oh, I want to be a chef, and oh, I want to have a restaurant one day. This is some of the stuff you never think about, but like, it's one of the things that you learn, I guess, as you're in it. Is something that I've been learning while being in this is like, I feel responsible for the livelihoods of my people, and I didn't know that stuff like that could weigh on you. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause you don't think about it. So like when it happens, I'm like, oh shit. Like, there's people looking at you like, hey man, like I kind of, what's going on? I've always depended on this, and I'm like, you feel kind of helpless, and it's a strange feeling to have. But I'm glad, like I said, it's not all like stops or we're trying to do things to maintain the morale and all that, because the last thing we need is for all of us to be all head down. But it's been work, and it's been a little bit stressful, and I'm sure everyone's had to deal with their own hardships in their own way. But I will say, man, Raleigh fucking kicked ass, because like, some of the first responders that I heard were people in our community, were people in the restaurant industry, were people that were like right away looking out for each other, and like, it's good to know that, like, all everything aside, like, we didn't need for someone to tell us what we need to do when the time came. We took what information we had, and I think everyone did their part to make sure to check in on everybody, from just people in the community coming in and purchasing gift cards and doing that, to other owners reaching out and being like, hey, how are you guys doing? What's going on? So it's cool to know there's people doing that, and I'll not only not going to forget that, but I'm definitely going to make it a point to put my part in to make sure that we're doing something from here on, so we don't have to be dealing with this so alone next time, or whatever it is that happens again. I think we should be more prepared as an industry in general to just support each other, and our people.
Yeah, dude. Well, you guys will come out of this wiser and better. It's a tough road. We'll get through it. You'll come out wiser and better and stronger. And one of the things that, look, I mean, restaurant owners, chef owners, restaurant people, y'all are this amazing combination of, creative, gritty, thoughtful, intentional, hardworking, caring people as a group. I mean, you just are. And those are these, and plus many other qualities I didn't mention but are true. Those are the things that will get y'all through this. And I mean, the creativity I've seen already across our customer base has just been amazing. Some of the things people have done, whether it's to, raise money for their team or to find new ways to drive revenue that they had never done before, or to help, first responders, hospital workers, or to help children that are on school lunch that, weren't able to get that. It's just phenomenal. So, I mean, we are proud to serve y'all. We love y'all. We tip our hats to y'all. We really admire y'all. And I don't want to keep you long, man, because I know you got a lot going on, but just really appreciate this. We're doing this, this kind of new series on the podcast called ONWARD, and I stole that term from John Sealbinder there in Raleigh. Actually, that's a term he's kind of rebranded with. But
does he know?
He knows. Yeah, he knows. I told him I was like, man, I'm going to do this.
I thought you were breaking it right now. Like,
no, in fact, he's been on the podcast. I was like, can I steal that, man? Because it's the perfect word, like onward right now. Because we can't change what's happened. We can't change. All we can do now is go like, okay, what do I do today to get through the day, and what do I do today to plan for tomorrow and for for whatever I can plan for the future, which is very uncertain right now. But all we gotta do is just move onward, man. And help each other, and that's what y'all are doing, and we appreciate it, and we love y'all for that.
Hey, Will, I appreciate it, and you're absolutely right. That's one of the things that, like I said, obviously everyone's going through this together. It's not just one group of people or whatever, but, we can't, it's out of our control, right? So now we can only control what we can, and that's what we're trying to do right now, is create some, sense of community, create some, just be, I don't know how to explain it actually, just onward. There we go. I'm gonna steal it from John Seal as well. We're trying to move forward. We can't, we can't control the shit that we can't control. So let's not focus on that. We can't worry about it. What can we do right now? And that's what we started doing. And it's been changing. Now we're starting to think now that we're starting to see that maybe this is going to come from the government or whatever. Now it's time where we're thinking, okay, maybe we do close and keep people away from being in contact with that, because it's a lot to take on, man. And at the end of the day, we are creative. There's a whole group of people that are willing and able and creative and have a lot of ideas, but at the same time, we're not versed in this pandemic, obviously. So it's you have to kind of sit back for a second and think about everything. So, today is my one day off, and this morning Charlie and I got up early, and that's the first thing we were doing, is talking about all right, let's just sit down and not be whatever. Let's just really talk about what's going on, and that's kind of what we came up with. So, I appreciate you talking, and it's just kind of cool to hear that everyone else going through, and I appreciate your kind words, and let's move forward. Let's move onward. There we go.
There you go. All right, man. Love it. Credit to John Sealbinder in Raleigh, a local icon hospitality. Well, hey, Oscar, I'll let you roll, man. Tell everybody hello for us. Tell Charlie hello. We got y'all's back if you need anything, of course, and but appreciate the time, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate the call, and if anyone hearing, what's up, y'all?
Love it, man.
But all right, well, appreciate it very much, and I'll be talking to you shortly.
Okay, man. Anytime. Thanks, Oscar. Have a good one.
I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
See you.